Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos. It's because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more and you need a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and make the mindset shift towards positivity and success will come. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, change your mindset.
You're never going to accomplish anything great if you're coming from a place of negativity. If you are just complaining and negative and blaming other people, you're never going to accomplish anything. It's just not going to happen. You can't create amazing things from a negative spot. It means that you have zero resourcefulness because there's no hope. And so you need to flip it. Now I'm going to give you a wild mind trick that I use that maybe is a little too weird duck for you, but I want to test it on you because if one of you picks it up, it'll dramatically change your life. It's my philosophy of changing negative situations and doing a quick mind trick in my head to say it's the best. So whenever I'm hit with a negative situation, something that is beyond my control, something that I can't do anything about, I will complain, I will be unhappy, I'll be negative for 8 to 24 seconds. And then I'll tell myself it's the best, that this is the best thing that happened to me. And then I'll figure out why it's the best. So as an example, I'm on an airplane. I'm coming from Vancouver to LA. I'm speaking at an event in LA. I'm on a flight. It's a 5-hour flight. I get on, there's this really smelly dude next to me, really smelly guy. He probably hadn't been on, in a shower in a couple days, probably had multiple transfers and stopovers, and I have empathy. I'm not pissed at him, I'm pissed at the situation, right? I'm sure he's normally a nice smelling guy and takes care of himself, but in this situation, he was super smelly and I had to deal with it. So what am I gonna do? I got a 5-hour flight. What are my options? I can not go. I could miss my flight and then not do my presentation. I could sit on the airplane and be upset for the next 5 hours and then be upset for the rest of the day and allow this minor situation to own me and to be better than me and ruin my entire day. Or I could say, this is the best. And that's what I did. For around 8 to 24 seconds, I'm sitting there trying to figure out my options. What options do I have? How can I fix this? There's no options. I'm screwed. And then I'm upset. I'm upset. Like, this sucks. Come on, really? This is what I have to deal with for the next 5 hours? And then this is the best. And what do? Yep. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Give it to me. Because this is making me stronger. This is the best. This is actually the best. Why? Because it's my chance to show myself what I'm made of. That this smelly dude is not going to own me. That I am stronger than a little bit of smell on an airplane. And that the next time I get faced with a similar situation, I'm able to handle it. It's easy. It rubs off me. I think that's how you actually build self-confidence. That's how you actually build self-esteem. Because when it's easy, it's easy. Winning a race against 3-year-olds is easy. Doesn't mean anything. You're not going to clap that up. Yay, I beat a bunch of 3-year-olds. But when it's hard and you try, that's when you actually build self-esteem. And so flip it. Flip it in your mind. Flip it. This is the best. Whatever negative situation is in front of you right now, tell yourself it's the best. Let me give you another example. I'm on a keto diet 6 days a week. Saturdays, I eat what I want. And Sunday to Friday, I'm on a keto diet, eating super healthy, all avocados and vegetables and some fish. And we're traveling right now. And I'm doing a 90-day tour across the country. And I told myself, I want to come back in better shape, in lower weight than when I left. It's easy for me to stay consistent at home, but when I travel, it's always been my vice. When I travel for a couple days, I'll just veg out, I'll eat whatever I want, frappuccinos, down in everything. It's like, sugar. I can't do that for 90 days because I come back a giant tub. So I needed to say, okay, you know what? Here's a challenge. This is my chance to prove myself. This is my chance to show myself what I'm made of. I want to come back weighing less than when I left. And so we're visiting all these cities and there's tons of great food in every city, right? And I want to look at the food and I want to smell it. I want to look at it and I'm stronger than you. Every grocery store that we go into, I love going down the sugar aisle. I love going down the snack aisle. I love seeing the Klondike Reese's Pieces bars. I love seeing the Doritos. I love seeing them, and I love smelling them whenever I can, and just knowing that I'm stronger. I think if you eliminate the junk food from your house and you're on a diet, it actually makes you weaker. You're training yourself that you're not capable of resisting. And so there's junk all over the place here. Here, let me show you. Look, here we go. Look, we just finished off some junk, but we got right here on the kitchen counter, we've got fudge and more fudge, and then whatever those things are, pineapples, and then some fudge sea salt caramels just lying out. Right in here, we got Doritos. We got, look at this. This is gonna kill me. Look, this is York peppermint patties. Are you kidding me? I want to eat that entire bag right now. What else? Let's go to the third drawer. Look at this. We got Snicker bites. We got. I could eat this entire bag right now. I'm so hungry. We got raisins, right? Chocolate covered raisins. Are you kidding me? This stuff is amazing. I can't wait. I want to eat all of it. And here's what I do when they come home. Look at this. This one here, this dark chocolate. Can you help me open this? Because I'm filming.
Danny ate.
Danny ate it. So here's the thing. Here's what I would love. If I wanted to eat this, here's what I would do. I would open it up like this. Oh, and just smell it. Just smell it and know that I'm stronger than these sea salt caramels. Now, this actually pisses me off because I don't like dark chocolate. I can't stand the smell. And so it smells nasty to me. But I want it to smell good. I want it to smell good. I want it to be right here on top of the counter, in front of my face. Right? Doritos. I want it right in front of my face. I have a giant bag of Doritos at my home in my office because Doritos are my weakness. Because damn the Doritos. Because the Doritos aren't stronger than me. Right? That smelly guy on the airplane, he's not stronger than me. I'm capable of doing that. I'm capable of doing more. And so I love that. And maybe that's a little crazy. And when I tell people that story, they say, well, doesn't that deplete your willpower? Because you only have a certain amount of willpower for the day. And if you force yourself through that, you're going to deplete your willpower, and then other decisions become more difficult. And I get it logically, but for me, maybe it's just the mind trick coming to play, because that makes me stronger. I want more of it. I love myself more because of that. I love it. It gives me more energy. It doesn't take away my willpower. It creates more willpower for myself. And I can't wait to dive into all that stuff on a Saturday. But when Nina and Danny are coming back with all this food, I want to smell it. I want to look. I want to love it. I want my mouth to water. Even just thinking about the Doritos right now, my mouth is watering so much. And I love so much about myself that I'm not diving into it. And so changing your identity, that I'm the kind of person who rises to a challenge, who when it's difficult, I crush it. I jump into it. I love it. I think when you can do that, you're much more likely to go off and accomplish your goals. I think when you do that, you're much more able to handle adversity in your life. And just that quick mindset shift, just that quick trick into your brain. Every single time you find yourself being negative, being complaining, being upset, tell yourself it's the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. Let's go. Bring me your Doritos. Bring me your smelly man. I got this. I'm ready. You're ready too. It's the best.
Rule number 2, have a cause.
Having a cause will make you feel like a superhero. It'll allow you to do things you never thought you'd do and give you the courage you never thought you'd have. All of your heroes had a cause, and if you want to stop selling sugar water and change the world, it's time to find yours. I love the Steve Jobs story. I'm a huge fan of Steve. I have his poster on my wall as one of the 5 people that I look up to on a daily basis. But one of the things that I really find most valuable about having a cause is it can allow you to have the courage to be the evangelical person, even if it's not naturally who you are. I look at Steve Jobs and I see someone who is naturally talented, who's a great salesperson, who has the gift of gab, who loves being in the spotlight, who is that person who likes being up front and center. And so it's easy to go off and be that person. Now you combine that with a cause and you get a company like Apple. But having a cause can make you evangelical even if you are introvert and shy and don't like the spotlight. I know because I'm talking about myself. I am an introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't talk to the person next to me on the airplane. Being in front of the camera makes me nervous. Being in front of a giant audience makes me shy. I'd much rather be at the back of a room than be the center of attention. One of the things I used to fight the most with my agent about was he would say that, Evan, you don't want to be famous. that's a problem. Like, yeah, I don't want to be famous. It's not about me, it's about the cause. And recently it started to sink in that by me becoming more famous, I could spread the message more. But it's one of the biggest things that we kept fighting over, because I don't crave the limelight where a lot of people, they absolutely have to have it. But when you have a cause, it forces you to the front. I make videos because I want to help entrepreneurs. I make videos because I struggled so much. Your purpose comes from your pain. I struggled so much in starting my business. I want to make the path a little bit easier for the next generation of people coming through. I'm making videos and content and speeches for the 19-year-old version of myself that needed to hear this stuff. And so I feel it's my responsibility, it's my obligation, I have to do it. And it forces me out into stages that normally I would say, you're crazy. I'm on this tour right now, right? I gave up a quarter of my year, 90 days, to hit 23 cities and do the thing that I'm most afraid to do, which is get up and potentially disappoint people every 4 days by doing another event. And I kept going even though I broke my neck. I broke my neck 3 weeks ago in Denver. And we kept going. I only canceled one event completely. And I just got up and kept going. And so having that cause, feeling like the work that you do is important and meaningful is the whole thing. 95% of America wakes up and drives to the job that they hate. Don't let that be you. 95% of America is selling sugar water that they don't believe in. Don't let that be you. But when you find the thing that you love doing, when you find the cause, when you can connect the work that you're doing on a daily basis to impacting other people, right? Humans are built to serve. We are built to serve either the world or the 25 closest people to us. And when you can connect the work that you're doing on a daily basis to serving and helping others in some capacity, then you're set, then you love it, then you keep going, then you push through. I kept going on this tour because I'm on a cause, I'm on a mission. I have purpose. And even though it may not be my best work, it's better than me not showing up. And so it'll push you through emotional pain. It'll push you through physical pain. It'll push you to give you the courage that you never thought you'd have, because you feel a calling to go and help other people. And so humans are built to serve, but we're also afraid of judgment, afraid of failure, afraid of disappointing people. And when you can release that fear because you found the thing that you have to do, it'll give you the courage and strength to move forward and become evangelical about your cause. Now, I've got 3 very important questions that I think you should ask yourself as you're going through this journey of finding out your cause and then living it to become evangelical about it, that if you ask and answer powerfully, I think it change the course of the rest of your life. Question number 1, what would the most courageous version of yourself do? Think about what you think of yourself right now. The kind of skills and the talents and just the identity. I am the kind of person who does this. There's a lot of limiting beliefs in there. And a lot of your growth and the growth of your cause comes from busting through some of these limiting personal beliefs. And so asking that question, what would the most courageous version of you do right now? Not what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail, because that requires no courage. That's the opposite of courage. You know you're not gonna fail, you're gonna win, so there's zero courage involved. No, I want you to have courage. What would the most courageous version of you do? And then go do that thing. And it's a great question to constantly ask yourself as you continue to evolve and grow. Question number 2, who do you need to recruit to your cause to make it blow up? So recognize that you can't do everything, right? If you want to go quickly, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with a team. You have a skill set and interest. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. And the most courageous version of you will go off and do these things. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't want to do. And you need to recruit people to your team, even if for free at the beginning, just to get it started. So for me in making videos, I didn't want to be the person behind the camera. I didn't want to have to do all the editing. I didn't want to know the specs and the gear and all that stuff. Even here as we're set up, you know, I've got a light on me here. There's a fill light behind me. I'm mic'd up. We have this camera on me, fancy gear. I don't want to know about all this stuff, but I need people on my team to help me do it. And so the first person that I recruited for my first video was my buddy, Mark Drager. And he came on his off time and he shot my video. It was Walt Disney. It's 10 years old now almost. And it's embarrassing to look at, but it was well done. It was well shot technically by my friend who knew what he was doing, but I needed to recruit those people. And so understanding what do you have Michael Jordan level potential at, and trying to spend as much time as possible doing that thing, and then recruiting other people alongside you, even if for free at the beginning, just to build up your base, because you cannot do everything alone. Your mission, your cause will never come to fruition if you are trying to do everything completely by yourself. And question number 3 is, how can you tell your story in a way that connects with people? This is one of the things that you will need to summon the courage to do. You need to tell your story. You're doing this cause because of a personal story, and your purpose comes from your pain. And so being able to share that painful moment is something that a lot of people have a hard time doing, because they don't want to admit the weakness, they don't want to admit the vulnerability, they don't want to live in the pain. But without knowing your story, without knowing why you're doing what you're doing, people won't connect with you. You just look like another giant corporation, but you're not giant because I don't know who you are. And so if you think about whatever your cause is, your business, what you're up to, if you have a website that you look like giant corporation because you're trying to be professional and corporate, right? You have the same boring headshots and the same boring bio as everybody else. Why would I buy from you? Why would I work with you? I'm gonna work with a big company. They may treat me like a number, but at least I know who they are. They have a reputation. I know they're gonna still be around in business. I know what I'm getting. Why take a chance on you? It's your story. Your story is the X factor. Your story is the reason why somebody wants to work with you versus everybody else. And you're so afraid to share the story. And so you have to get it out there. I would love to see a video. I would love to see you practice and tell the story in a video, and not worried about you being the perfect public speaker or not, but just getting it out, just to share it. But if you don't want to do that yet, then just a written story. Tell me where you came from. Tell me why you do what you do. Tell me why this is so important to you. Tell me where you came from and why this thing has to happen. Because it's your story and your passion that will carry the day. And if I can't connect to you and why you're doing it, I don't connect to your cause.
Rule number 3, just be yourself.
Just be yourself is one of the most common pieces of advice that you hear from successful people. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Just be yourself. You're a unique snowflake. Yes, amazing, but how? How do I do it? How do I find it? And once I find it, how do I have the confidence to actually live it? How? Give me the how. You're in luck. I'm gonna give you the 3-step process on how to actually find out who you are and have the confidence to live it. We're gonna go through 3 steps: who, why, how. Your who, your why, your how. You figure that out, you're set up for life. It's one of the most powerful exercises you will ever do in your life. Let's dig in. Number 1, your who. Your who is your one word, most important core value. What is your single most important core value? Mine is belief. When you understand what you stand for, you're less likely to be pulled in other people's directions. So quick tips on how to find it. What's your favorite movie of all time? Mine is Seabiscuit. It's about this horse that's too small and a jockey too big and an owner that has no money, and they find each other and they start winning a whole bunch of races, right? What's your favorite song of all time? Who's your favorite teacher of all time and why? And if you look at all these things that you have loved, it wasn't because Mrs. Jones taught you math in grade 8. It's because of a characteristic. There's a common thread between all the things that you love that make you happy. That's your one word. That's your most important core value. When you figure that out, now you can live a life on purpose and bring those things to you. So for me, believe, I'm not gonna make a video that's trashing somebody. I'm not gonna make a top 10 stupidest things that this person ever said, even though it might make me more money, even though it might bring me more subscribers, even though it might get me more attention. I don't wanna do it because it's anti-belief. And knowing that, knowing what I stand for, then makes it easy to put that shield up to say, no, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care that you think I should go do that thing. I know what I stand for. It gives you a rock to stand on where most people are standing on quicksand. Figure out your who. Step 2 is figure out your why. That's your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. Think about the most painful moment in your life. Your purpose for life will be to help other people who are currently experiencing that pain. To find somebody who is going through the thing that caused you the most pain in your life will lift you up and give you so much joy, I can't explain it. And your who and your why, your one word and your purpose are for life. So for me, my why, my purpose is helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, because I turned down huge jobs to make $300 a month and earn 30% of a company. And I hated my life. Like I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't giving any value. It sucked. I eventually made it through, and I want to help entrepreneurs because I remember struggling so much as an entrepreneur. I don't want other people to have to struggle the same way that I struggled. And so my one word is believe. I could believe in anybody. I could believe in lots of people. Everybody needs believing in, but I love helping entrepreneurs more because that's where I came from, because that was my biggest struggle. It's my biggest pain. And so think about your most painful moment of all time. Helping the people who are currently experiencing the thing that you went through is going to be the thing that will fill you up for life. Your who and your why are for life. They will never change. They're with you for life. And so it's worth going through that thought experiment to find it. Because most of America has no idea what they stand for and what their purpose is. Step 3 is your how. Now it's figuring out, how did you get through the thing that you went through, right? I struggled as an entrepreneur. The thing that saved my business was modeling Bill Gates. How did Bill Gates build a software company? That's what I had. I had a software company. I wasn't working. I copied Bill Gates' strategies, applied it to my business, had my first sale shortly after for $13,500. It may not seem like a lot of money, but for me, it was money. It was money. It was bank. Like, holy cow, something's actually working. And so ever since then, that was when I was 19, 20 years old. Ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success. I modeled Bill Gates' success and put that to my company. I had success. And so what have I done for the past 20 years? Made content, made videos. Look at my channel, profiling different successful entrepreneurs to model their success. The path that I use to get out of the hole is the path that then I teach. The path that you use to get out of the hole that you're in becomes the path that you teach. It's a system. It's replicatable. You can teach other people how to do it, because a lot of the people who are struggling with the thing that you struggled with, they never find their way out. You can help them by showing them the path that you took. And so your who, your why, your how. When you figure that out, that's how you are yourself. And now you've got this amazing rock to stand on. When other people think you should go do something else, you don't care. It doesn't hit you. It bounces off you because you're confident in yourself. And so yes, be yourself. And it's gonna come up over and over and over and over again. Look at the top 10s, look at the espressos, look at all the videos, look at the interviews, look at the people that you look up to. They're all gonna say, just be yourself. But how? This is the process. Figure out your who, figure out your why, figure out your how. Go through those 3 steps and you're set up for life. And I'm so pumped to see the journey that you go on. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that, if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below. If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
The people who win work the hardest because they love what they do.
Create an outline and a schedule. What I found really helpful for me was to create an outline at the start.
Rule number 4, do difficult things.
You need to do things that make you feel proud. When things get difficult, most people will find really smart ways to talk themselves down from doing difficult things. And the smarter you are, the better excuse/reason you have to not to do the thing. But until you own up and go after and chase down difficult things, you'll never be proud of yourself and you'll never accomplish the big goals you have for yourself. So I'm here on my tour. I committed to doing 90 days, 23 cities, a new city basically every 4 days. And I broke my neck 2 weeks ago. I broke my neck in Denver and I had to cancel my Denver event because it was in the hospital. But then I got up and I did a short version of my Kansas City event. And then I got up and did a full version of a Minnesota event. And then I got up and did a full version of my Milwaukee event here last night. I want to do work that makes you feel proud. It's difficult. It's hard. Everybody would have understood if I canceled, right? If I said, guys, sorry, I broke my neck, broke my back, have a concussion, 3 staples in my head, I can't keep going. Everybody would have understood, but I wouldn't have felt proud. And that needs to be your asset test. It's not what other people think about you. It's not when other people let you off the hook. It's not when other people think that you're great. It's what do you think about yourself? Are you proud of the decisions that you make in your life? I had a guy come out to my event in Columbus. It was in the middle of winter, January. He had a goal to do cold showers 6 days a week. It was a Saturday night. Sunday was his day off from cold showers. He comes out, says, Evan, I've been in my girlfriend's house all day. The heat's been off. I haven't taken a cold shower because I've been freezing my face off all day long. Should I take a cold shower? Like, are you proud of yourself? He said, no. Then you have to take a cold shower. And then tomorrow you have to take another cold shower just to show yourself what you're made of. I can't be your judge. I can't make the decision for you. You need to make decisions that you are proud of. And so the next time you're faced with a difficult decision, right? Don't say, well, that's too hard. You want to develop the identity that you take on hard things. You are the kind of person who does difficult things. You are the kind of person who takes action on the things that will help make you feel proud. So what are some of the things in your life that you're preventing yourself from doing? What's the thing that you're going boom, 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 you're scared? You do it. Train yourself that when your heart is beating, this is your next asset test. The next time you're walking into a room or you're thinking of an idea and your heart's going boom, 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 you have to go off and do that thing. You have to. Just to show yourself that you're capable of doing it. Whether you end up winning or not, whether you get a great result or not, just that you tried, just that you took the step, just that you kept going. Because if you keep trying, you keep going, you keep chasing this down, eventually you'll win, eventually you'll get results. What I'm terrified for most of you is you feel this, you feel scared, you feel worried, you feel anxiety, you feel like you can't do it, and then you teach yourself, I don't follow through. You find amazing reasons because you're so smart why you can't do it. All your friends and family and people around you let you off the hook for not doing it, but deep down inside, you know you're not proud of yourself. This is how you build self-respect. This is how you build self-love. This is how you build self-confidence. You do difficult things. That when your heart's going boom, 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 you teach yourself that you're the kind of person who attacks it.
Rule number 5, be patient.
Most entrepreneurs aren't patient enough. Most entrepreneurs end up losing their business. They end up shutting down because they think it's going to happen in a couple months or even 6 months or a year, and really it's going to take them 4 years, 5 years before they hit their mark. They don't have enough patience. They don't allow enough time for momentum to build up, and they quit. And they end up going back to a crappy job that they hate. And maybe never ever take a shot at getting entrepreneurship because they feel it's not for them. Where really, they missed out. You missed out on your destiny. You missed out on creating something amazing because you just didn't have enough patience. Now, I believe in patience in the macro. I believe in patience and knowing it's going to take a long time. I also think impatience can serve you greatly. But that's in the micro, that's in the daily, the impatience of, did I do my best today? Did I do my best today? Can I do better? Can I drive more? Can I drive harder? And knowing that even if I give my best every single day, it's still going to take time. It's still going to take a number of years for something to happen. I want it to happen as soon as possible. I'm going to drive and be impatient as crazy to get it going, but I know it's going to take time too. It's embracing both. That's when you start to win. I look at my YouTube, my Instagram, my social media strategy. YouTube, 7,000 subscribers 4 years ago, 1.2 million subscribers now. 4 years by making videos every day. And I'm impatient as anything because I want it to be amazing. I want to make every video better than the last and looking for all the hacks and SEO and thumbnail strategies and title strategies and all of the stuff that we're supposed to do, right? I'm on top of it. And I know that it's going to take me 4 years to get there. I know it's going to take me a while to get to my next 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. I look at Instagram. Follow me on my Instagram journey. I'm starting from nothing. You can see how to build it up from zero. I had 8,000 followers. Many of you already have more followers than I do on Instagram. But I'm gonna win, I'm gonna pass people, I'm gonna get mine because I'm gonna make daily, consistent content 3 to 4 times a day for 4 years. I'm gonna be impatient as anything, and that the post today has to be amazing, has to be something that I wanna show my grandkids, right? That's the intent every time I create anything. I want my grandkids to watch this video. I want my grandkids to watch the next Instagram thing that I put up. It's the best that I can come up with in the moment. And I know it's gonna take me 4 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 2 years, but it's not gonna take me 2 months. I realize it's gonna take working hard and working smart together, always. Quick story, there's a buddy of mine who's an entrepreneur, and every morning we check in with each other. We're both on our goal to have accountability around eating a certain number of calories. So we have calorie targets for ourselves, and every morning we check in with each other, and the max we can be is over by 50 or under by 50. We gotta stay in that range. And this morning, he sends me a message to say, I'm cutting my calories to 1,700. I need to lose weight faster. And I wrote back to him and say, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. This is the problem. Because you're going to stick to that for about a week. And then you're going to realize it's insanely difficult. It's too hard to keep up. And then you're going to go eat a crazy huge pizza, followed by Oreos, followed by McDonald's, followed by all this other junk. You're going to veg out and you're going to fall way off track. More important than cutting your calories down to some extreme amount is be consistent. You're just not consistent enough. Stick to a higher target, but do it daily. This is your problem too. You're not consistent enough. More important than trying to go crazy for 1 week and expecting magic to happen is to do the hard work daily, consistently for 4 years. And so he started laughing. I said, don't be stupid. I want you to write that on your mirror. Write that on your mirror when you wake up. Don't be stupid today. And he started laughing and he says, you're right. But that's the problem. That's the human condition. We're looking for the magic bullet. We're looking for the secret sauce. We're looking for that hack and that shortcut to try to eliminate the years of work. And I agree with it. I love it. I love that as a strategy. I love the 4-hour work week concept in the book. I love hacking things. I love efficiency. I'm constantly looking at how do I shortcut a 5-year plan down to 5 months. Always, always, always and forever improving. And insane patience to know that things will still take time. Not using it as a limiting belief to say that I can't make this happen faster, but also recognizing that that exists so that I don't get defeated, I don't get beat down, and I give up on my dream because I didn't have the patience to stay the course. I think entrepreneurs in general are great at looking for the hacks. We're great at the impatience. If I didn't think that, that's what I'd be preaching. I'd be preaching impatience, get after it, let's go, shorten the cycle. I think we're great at that. I don't think we're great enough at the patience. Patience, the long game, understanding that if you stick with it, even if you don't see any immediate results, even if you're hacking and learning and getting better and you don't see results and people say you're crazy and people think this is never going to work out and sometimes you doubt yourself as well. If you stick with it, if you have patience, you will win.
Rule number 6, do not be afraid of failure.
If you want to succeed, then you need to adjust how you see failure. Failure is going to happen. If you look at the most successful people in the world, we've studied them, they're in the book, they're all over the channel, they failed the most. The most successful person you look up to, that you're like, wow, that person is so successful, I can't believe it. They have failed way more than you've even tried. Not everything works out. Most of the series that I put out on this channel don't work out. We test constantly, and most of them never go anywhere. They just don't get enough traction. It was an experiment, we failed, we move on to the next one. We have failed more than most people even try, and that's why we succeed. And that's a consistent habit around people who are winning. They win because they tried so many other things, and a certain percentage make their way through. And most people are so afraid to fail that they don't even try. And that's the biggest failure of all. They're so afraid of it not working out, of it not being the big hit, that they just sit on their idea, and then they watch somebody else make tons of money, have a huge impact from it. Get it out there. It may not be the biggest version of what you're trying to do, but start small, build momentum, see if you still even like this thing or not, see if you can get some people interested in it or not, and expect to fail. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is normal. Failure is welcomed, right? You're going to learn from it, you're going to build on it, you're going to make it better. If you are not failing, if you're winning every time, think about it, like if you're winning every time, everything you touch wins, that means you're playing a tiny game. It means you're racing against 3-year-olds. Great. Congratulations, you won every single race because you're running against 3-year-olds. If you want to be the best, you want to have an impact, you want to make your business a success, you want to make money, you want to reach people, you're going to have to race against people who are a little more skilled and talented. You're going to have to risk losing. You're not going to win every race. But the good news is you don't have to. You don't have to win every race to succeed. You just have to win one. You could run 100 races, you just need to win one. And then they call you an overnight success. So just adjust your view of failure. Expect things to fail. It's not like I'm cheering for it to fail, but I expect most things that I touch to fail. That's okay. That's normal. That's what happens. If you're the person who's just so afraid to fail that you don't try anything, then you need this video and these kinds of videos and resources more than anybody. You need to surround yourself with people, with ideas, with resources, whether it's the videos, whether it's the book, something else, where people are talking about failure, where you're hanging around successful ideas, because anybody who's saying not to try something because it may not work out, that's a small thinking person. If somebody's telling you that, like don't try this because it may not work out, I would challenge you to look at their life, look at their accomplishments, look at what they're doing, and I guarantee you they're playing small in their life, and that's not something that you want to emulate. So you need to change your environment. You got to change what you're feeding into this, because the more that you are accepting that line of thinking, the more you're just going to stay where you are. The more you're never going to go off and build this thing. The more you're just going to sit on your couch and be a dreamer with great dreams, with amazing dreams that could have a huge impact that you never actually take any action on because you're too afraid to fail. So if that's you, I challenge you to start getting into that habit. Surround yourself with those people. You know, you don't have Michelle Obama in your life. That's okay.
The good news is Michelle Obama is a pretty public person. If this message resonated with you, you can put in her name as a YouTube alert and get updates every time she makes a new video. If you like my message, you can subscribe to the channel. There's 3 videos that come out every day. There's enough content there to start to shift your mindset. The key is making that consistent. The key is consuming that on a daily basis so that you start to shift and you start to change, because this one video is not enough. Because doing something once is not enough. You are what you consistently do. You are who you consistently hang around with. You are what you consistently believe. The key is consistently. So what are you consistently doing, and how is that view of failure preventing you from doing something amazing?
Rule number 7, the last one before our very special bonus clip, act now.
The decisions that you make when you're feeling bold are actually the right ones for you, and your head starts talking you down from doing them. When you're feeling bold, unstoppable, confident, powerful, and you make a decision, you make a choice, you say, I'm gonna go off and do this thing, that is actually the best thing that you need to go off and do. You have to listen to it. You have to take that jump. Otherwise, you will still be in the same spot you are currently in right now, 5 years from today. So I just came back from doing a tour, 90-day tour, 23 different cities. It all started because I was walking down the street on a warm summer day last year, and I decided I'm gonna take Nina, my wife, to every city in North America with 1 million+ people. Crazy goal, right? My next evolution, the next leap, the next jump. Every city in North America with my wife, let's go. And then your head gets in the way. Then your head starts thinking, how many cities are there? How do we plan for this? Nina has a full-time job. How are we gonna make it all work? What's the timeline gonna be? Your default first step needs to be action instead of thinking. What most of us will do as soon as you come with an idea is you go home and you think, and you plan and you ponder and you strategize and you think, and you use all of your creative, bold, confident energy into planning. The problem is you wake up the next day a different person. You wake up the next day thinking, I can't do that. I can't go to every city in North America with 1 million+ people. I can't do this. I can't do that. You come up with all the reasons that are logical, that are practical as to why you can no longer do that thing. You were feeling bold and confident yesterday, but today you can't do it. That's why your default first step needs to be action. Use that bold, creative, powerful energy into action, into committing yourself to doing something and taking what I call the first 2%. The 2% difference. That means don't go home and plan your way to hitting 100% of your goal. Immediately take the first 2% action to move a tiny bit closer to your goal. And so I said, I'm gonna take my wife Nina every city in North America, 1 million+ people. Great. What's my first step? Not researching how many cities, not trying to figure out how Nina's gonna quit her job, not any of that stuff, not planning, not strategizing. It's this weekend, we're gonna go to Boston. Because I knew Boston had 1 million+ people and I knew Nina hadn't been there yet. So we're gonna go to Boston. It was actually the wrong plan. It wasn't the closest city. I thought it was the closest city, but there's multiple cities that are closer. But the imperfect plan that you act on is better than the perfect plan that you sit on and never do anything about. And so we went to Boston that weekend. It was a Wednesday afternoon. I decided by Friday night we were leaving and driving to Boston. Action. This is the thing that most people are missing. You don't have enough action. The 2% difference. Stop planning to 100%. And figure out what the smallest possible, simplest version of doing that thing is right now, immediately, today. You have made bold decisions in your life. You have decided, I want to go do this. I want to play a bigger game. You've been inspired by a video, by a conference, by a conversation. You've been inspired. You've woken up. Some days, not frequently enough, but you've woken up and felt, I should be doing this. That thing is the thing that you should be doing. That's the thing. It is. But you only spend 2% of your time believing in that thing. And so the way to get to actually living there is taking the 2% difference. Immediate action when you're feeling bold, powerful, and unstoppable. So let's go through an exercise. Let me walk you through how to actually do it, because I want you to walk away with this today after watching this video. We're not here just to get motivated and watch another video. It's action. From all of these videos that you watch, it's gotta be action on your goals, movement towards hitting your dreams. So step number 1 is get motivated. Whatever that means to you, whatever helps you get motivated. Maybe you already are right now. Maybe just this energy, watching this video, you're motivated, you're thinking of a bigger world for yourself. But if it's not this, great, what is it? Is it meditation? Is it going for a walk outside? Is it watching some other videos, listening to a podcast, reading a book, meditating, like whatever the thing is? What's the thing for you? Get motivated right now. You know it's possible. You know you've done it before. Get motivated right now. That's step number 1.
Step number 2, come up with a bolder vision of your life. What does the bold version of your life look like? You can't create a bold version of your life when you're not feeling motivated. If you feel like crap, you're feeling like ordinary, you're feeling like average, you're feeling like mediocre, so yeah, okay, well, I wish I could go do that thing. No, what? No. You create bold plans when you're feeling bold. So step 1 is you get bold, you get motivated. Step 2 is now you create a bold version of your life. What does that look like? What are you doing? Who are you hanging with? What does your business look like? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? What does the bold vision for your future life look like? And then step number 3 is do the 2% immediately. Great, that's what it can look like, but the path to get there is going to be very different. You don't know the path, it's nebulous. Don't spend the rest of your day planning out your path. No, you are losing your energy. You are losing momentum. You have your bold version, you have your bold vision, amazing. 2% time. What's the first step that you're going to commit to doing right now and then go off and do it? You are not allowed to go home and sleep tonight and put your head on your pillow tonight without having taken action, without committing to somebody that you're gonna do something. Research is an action. Planning is an action. Strategizing is an action. Taking action is action. Telling somebody you're gonna do something and then do it is action. Committing, buying that ticket, making that phone call, recording that first video, that's action. And you take the first step, even though you don't know how it's gonna lead to you getting to your ultimate destination. That's a 2% difference. I wanna see you do it.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through on your goals. That's not good enough. No, not for you, Believe Nation. We gotta do something. But when you write it down, and you create a specific plan of action for the next week, that number jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like leaving a comment on this video, it jumps to 95%. You need to follow through on your goals. So what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your specific plan of action for the next week? Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
I think people struggle with goals because they struggle with self-awareness, because they don't know who they are. And so they're constantly adjusting the goals that they have for themselves based off what other people think of them and based off what they see out in the media or on Instagram or on YouTube. They don't have self-awareness. You got to figure out what your one word is, what your most important core value is. Who are you as a human being? I wrote a whole book on this, but just as a quick brainstorm opportunity for you right now, think about what is your single most important core value. What is it? If you had to pick one core value as a human being, what is it? For me, it's believe. I like believing in people. I need to believe in people. I hate negativity. I hate toxic people. I hate the haters, right? I don't want to be around people saying that you can't do this. I am the opposite. I need to believe. And so already right there, already having that awareness of what your one word is, what your who is, when you figure that out, it allows you to make better decisions. It means that if you were in a work environment, if I was in a work environment where people didn't believe in each other, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be frustrated, be upset, I'd be angry. And now I know why, because my one word is believe. And so what is your single most important core value? Figure that out. It's one of the most important exercises you can ever do in your life. It's super helpful, it's valuable, it's important. You need to do it. Otherwise you will never have clarity over your goals. Step number 2 is your why. Why do you do what you do? Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose comes from your pain. The thing that you will enjoy the most in life is helping people who currently are going through whatever you massively struggled with. Think about the biggest pain in your life, whatever that was growing up, the biggest pain, the thing you'd never want to have to repeat or go through again, that pain, that deep dark pain you wouldn't wish upon your enemies, that pain, the worst day of your life, that pain. Your greatest joy in life will be helping people who are currently going through that pain and getting them through it. That's it. That's your purpose for life. That will never get old. That will be with you for life. And so for me, starting up as an entrepreneur was my biggest pain. I felt worthless. I was making $300 a month. I was suffering and struggling and just felt defeated as a human being. That's why I love helping out other entrepreneurs. And that's going to be it for life. That'll be my purpose for life. And so I know my who, I know my one word, most important core value. I know my why, my purpose comes from my pain. That is for life. Guys, just figuring out those 2 steps will give you so much more clarity over 99% of the world.
It's worth it. It's a little bit of process to go through, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It'll dramatically shift how you see the world and what you do with your life. Step 3 is then the how. So it's the who, why, how. How is then your passion. It's figuring out what it is that you're actually going to do. So I could believe in entrepreneurs all I want, but what am I going to do it? You have to enjoy the process. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they enjoy the process of the work. It's not just the end result. It's not just for me about hitting 10 million subscribers. It's the process. I like making videos, right? I like helping entrepreneurs, and I do that through making videos, through speeches, through books. You have to like the process of it, otherwise you will never win. Once you figure out your who, your one word, once you figure out your pain, right? The why, purpose comes from your pain, then make a list of all the ways that you have helped people deal with those struggles. And then circle the ones that you enjoyed the process of. If a friend of mine needed to move to a new building and I offered to help and move boxes, I would be pumped for him that he's got his new office set up. That's believing in entrepreneurs, but I don't enjoy the process of moving boxes. And so I wouldn't circle that one on my list. But if it's making videos, if it's writing books, if it's going and doing seminars and speaking from the front of a stage, if it's helping entrepreneurs one-on-one at coffee shops, all that stuff, I love it. I love it. Like I could do it forever. I love it. It fills me. It gives me energy and fuel. And so I want that for you. And so you now make a list of all the ways that you have helped people, and then circle the ones that you enjoyed, not just the end result, but the actual process. And then figuring that stuff out, you're set. You're set. You're now a special human being. And I think it's within all of us to be able to do it. We just don't have the awareness that it's something that we need to go and chase down. And so figure that out. Get the self-awareness. Understand what your who is. Understand what your why is. Understand what your how is. And your life gets dramatically better.
If you want to learn how to make 180-degree turn in your life, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
2 minutes before getting on and making this video, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. I'm trying to find a reason why I don't have to do this video.